It's time for Redskins Red Zone on the Brian Mitchell Show. All things burgundy and gold on the Team 980 and the Team 980 app. Here's B. Mitch and Scott.
As I look at social media every day, you have certain free agents that pop up or some players that are not free agents, and they have stay or go. And when Adrian Peterson got up there, name was up there, I saw most people say stay. When you look at what he did last year, you would automatically assume that you want to keep that young man around, not only because of what he can do, but what he makes others do. I think a lot of guys were motivated by Adrian Peterson being on the football team, watching him work, a true Hall of Famer, watching the way that he works. It can also instill something in them. But when you look at it, this deal is not one that just comes and it's very easy, like a cut and dry type thing. Because if Adrian comes in and Darius Geis comes back and he's fully healthy and he plays like you expect him to play, Adrian doesn't get a lot. So you have to say, well, we don't need to pay him a certain amount. But what if Darius comes back, like most people who are coming off of ACL injuries?
And he's watched. They get him on a pitch count.
We've seen him on social media posts. He's been running straight ahead. Mm-hmm. As he said, he hadn't done nothing side to side yet, but straight ahead he's good. But football's not straight ahead. Football is stop and start, stopping unexpectedly, stop and go the other direction. So if he can't just do those things, then maybe Adrian Peterson being able to take some of the load off of him make you say, well, we need to pay him a little bit more. So it's this delicate little thing that you're dealing with, and not to talk about, other teams may say, hey, we saw how good he played last year.
Right.
And the Redskins, I think any deal the Redskins do will have to be something incentive laden, as John Keim said in his in his article.
Johnny's set to join us in about 25 minutes.
But the other teams may not have to do anything that's such incentive laden.
Right, because the Skins are in cap hell, and they're going to have to structure it
bonus-wise. I'm calling the Colts. They got $109 million to spend.
Sure. And although they're in a much better place as far as the running backs go.
Them.
But so you can help them. I mean, John also cites, what a guy like Carlos Hyde cost the Browns last year. And
$7 million.
I'm a huge Carlos Hyde fan.
Yeah.
Eventually, he got shipped off to the Jacksonville Jaguars and was not really heard from again because they had their own situation between Fournette and Yeldon.
And the O-line was not good last year.
Fournette was in and out of the lineup. He was injured, what have you. But Hyde's a good back.
Yeah.
It was $7 million last year.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. So Skins can't get in to do something like that.
I don't think that much. I don't think they could do that much. But it is a situation to where AP was sitting at home. Mm-hmm. The Redskins came in and gave him that opportunity.
The timing was right for last year.
It was right.
Now, knowing what you know about him and knowing what the whole league knows about him and is seen from him is that there's still stuff left in the tank.
There's stuff left in the tank.
And B, there is stuff left in the tank behind that O-line and behind that quarterbacking situation. No knock against when it's fully healthy.
Yeah.
But he was still able to have it. I mean, he was one of the offensive bright
six-string
spots.
offensive guard.
Yes. So that's what I'm
he
saying.
He was making the offensive line look a lot better than the blocking was.
Yes.
He was stopping and starting and jump cutting and doing things that he did when he was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to play with his friend Trent.
That's the other part I was about to bring up.
Has that palette been fully fulfilled, or does he feel we could do a little bit more together, which may mean that AP may be in a position to say, I'll take a little less.
Right. There's that.
He's been around a while.
There's that. And again, he's a Hall of Famer. His engine is not to be questioned by me or anybody else that is a loafer behind a microphone. And nobody would.
Yeah.
But let me just throw this out there. He was hungry. He had a chip on his shoulder when he came back. Is a chip on the shoulder still going to be as large? Is that fire still going to burn?
I think so.
Because now, all of a sudden, he went from having 0 suitors, and all it takes is 1. And the Redskins were that 1 last year.
Yeah.
So they gave him a chance.
Now he needs 2.
He impressed. Now, all of a sudden, this year, how many people show up to the Adrian Peterson courtship?
Yeah.
Several? There should be, because he showed well enough last year.
Yeah.
And are they in a better position to make a run? Are they in a better position as far as QB goes? Are they in a better position with healthy and talented wide receivers so that it doesn't all come down to him?
Was it the Texans game when he came boom, bounce way outside, scored in the left corner of the end zone?
Think so.
But that right there is not easy. That for a guy young and super athletic and don't have to wear it on his tires like Adrian does, the guy still has a lot. And the way he trains and prepares himself, I think being 34 years old, whatever.
Right.
You know, we talk.
He showed you last year age was a number.
There are people now playing beyond. See, we used to hit a guy at 30 and it was done. People are not dealing with that anymore. Guys are playing beyond their years.
Right.
Now, the mindset of the league and of the fans is still the same because as soon as a guy hit 30, they start thinking he's done when there are people now playing 34, 35 and still having good years. And it's been going on for a long time. So I think this deal comes down to more of where is Darius? I know we haven't seen any of the shifty moves in the side
You've seen what you've seen.
We've seen the straight ahead, but is he doing some of the other stuff? Do you feel this being February 19th? In July, he'll be able to do those things because he got hurt in late July, August. It was August, first preseason game.
Well, yeah, one carry.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're looking at right now 6 months. Basically 6 months, 7 months, 6.5 months.
It's early.
So by the time when July comes around, we're 10 and a half months. When the season really starts to hit, he's almost at that 11 and a half, 12 months when you start to see guys really do those things. So if you really think he's going to be where you think he needs to be, you may start saying, well, we can probably go without. Because they still have Marshall. They love him. You have Marshall, Geis. You still have Chris Thompson around as well.
Rob's still there, right?
Rob is still under contract as well. So but when you saw all those guys, P. Ryan, you saw those guys perform, and you saw Adrian perform.
Of course, there was a difference.
But still, who's on his level?
Right.
The only guy that the hype was about on his level would be Darius Geis.
The only other thing that I'll throw to you is flip it around. And Father Time is always undefeated.
Yeah.
Even though Adrian has given Father Time a stiff arm, gave him that stiff arm last year. No problem.
Yeah.
What happens this year? One false move, one wrong, and then you're like, damn, it looked great on paper. He looked great last year, even running behind, his numbers sagged. But again, like you said, that was sixth string O-lineman that he was running behind after a while. You're like, dude, this isn't on you.
The dude went 99 yards last year.
Right. This isn't on him.
And couldn't get caught.
What he did against Philadelphia, what he did against. Right. That was all wonderful. But at age 35, pushing his, age 35 season.
He handled it, man.
No, you're right, and he did until he can't.
Yeah.
So stuff like that pops up all the time. Those guys that
put more and take care of their bodies a little more, like that guy that won the Super Bowl this year.
Yes.
He's what, 40, 41?
Something like that.
It's just that I think
you're overrating his plan.
You
his
put
TB12
more into
method.
it, you get more out of it. Put good stuff in it, and I think those guys that have been training themselves and taking care of themselves, they're gonna be okay. Just like old Tommy.
Yep. But again, like you said, there's questions here. Exactly where is Geis, and exactly who else is coming after Adrian.
Yeah.
And there may be absolutely more people interested. For the same team that said, we gave how much to Carlos Hyde last year, and we could have given half of that to Adrian? Because what was his deal on paper was only like $660,000. It was $1 million, but with all the numbers and all the math worked itself out, it was like $600,000-$700,000. Yeah. It was a bargain.
A veteran deal that basically you don't have to put all that against the cap. It's a lower number that goes against the cap. But we had some questions yesterday about the quarterback, and many people had a lot to say about it. Well, we want to find out what you think about this whole running back position. Adrian Peterson, Darius Geis possibly coming back. Do you think it's a good idea to sign AP, bring him back to the Redskins one more time, give him another chance, or give him a multiple-year deal, maybe 2-3 years? 301-230-0980. This is the Brian Mitchell Show. We're taking your calls when we get back. But first, let's check in on tonight's gambling action. Here's Brent Musburger.